Good evening, Cubans of the Cash. Gary B, the Casual Comic Guy here, and joining me just like every single Thursday, we got my good buddy Digger Jim. Jim, what is going on with you tonight, sir?
Oh, man, I'm just happy it's the weekend for me. You guys know I don't work on Fridays, so yeah, I get to start early with some great people tonight.
You know, that kind of talks away not to get invited back, Jim.
Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. I work my hard 4 10s, and then I'm off on Friday. But not really. There's
Right.
always something the wife has me doing. It's like, we're going to need this, this, and this done today. And then you can go do whatever you want to do. Okay.
And of course, we have an extra co-host tonight, none other than the successfully funded Doug Bratton, author of Isolation. Good evening, Doug. Great to see you, sir.
Thanks for having me on, Gary. Great to see you.
Absolutely. Our pleasure, man. And of course, tonight we're joined by two indie comic creators. We have, of course, who you've seen her before when Doug was talking Isolation. We have Miss Beth Sharland. Beth, good evening. How are you?
Pretty good. I get an excuse to wear a pirate hat, so it's not every day you can say that. So pretty good evening overall.
Right on.
Nice. And of course, she brought along author Ryan. Ryan, how are you this evening, sir? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm doing fantastic. You know, it's a good day to have a great day. So
That's every day. You try to have a good day, right? Some days are more successful than others, but you can always strive that and make it the best. All right, so let's start out what we're here to talk about. Now, I met Beth. I asked her to come back because she did a lot of work and has done a lot of work in collaboration with my co-host Doug Bratton here on a fantastic series called Isolation. But she has her hands in a lot of things because she's skilled, she's talented, and she's a great person. And we're going to talk about those projects tonight. She brought Ryan along so we can meet another great person in the indie community. And we're just going to let them introduce themselves real quick, and then we'll get going with some questions. But first, Beth, why don't you give the quick 2 minutes of who you are, what you're involved with, and where people can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Elizabeth Sharland. I go by Beth. Basically, I've worked with Doug for a little while now on Isolation as the letterer primarily, and then inker, and most recently editor. I'm also sort of working with Dreamscape Publishing, which is run by John Hon, who is the owner of JAF Comics. And he's currently creating a number of different properties that I letter. Lady Savage, Marcus, and now Tales of the Wretched and God is Hungry are our two new projects. I'm the inker on both of those new ones, and I'm also the editor on Tales of the Wretched. And you can find me on Instagram at threshold_inc, or just type in Elizabeth Sharland and I'll pop up, I'm sure.
Nice. And Ryan, let's get the quick 2 minutes, who you are, what you're working on, and where people can find you.
I'm Ryan Patrick Allen, RPA, if you will, for short. I like to be egregious and go by all three of my, legally given names. I'm a writer. I'm just a kid from Jersey who I guess I decided to start writing one day, and now I ask myself, what have I gotten myself into every day now? I'm doing Tales of the Wretched. Excited that's coming together, coming out in December. And I have Instagram. It's just Ryan Patrick Allen. I am, RPA, the one and only. So that's me.
All right, so you're from Jersey.
I am.
You better be a hockey fan, and your team better be the Devils.
I love the New Jersey Devils. They are doing fantastic right now.
Yeah, six in a row.
6 in a row.
I got two jerseys over there.
We may never lose again,
Don't jinx us.
And Jackie Hughes, he's a beautiful boy, and he's playing some beautiful hockey.
That new guy, Gritsuk's is looking great.
Gritsuk's great. Dougie, if he could stay healthy, hopefully Dougie Hamilton stays healthy.
Right, Luke's skating well. You got all the key players. Jasper Bratz looked great.
Yeah, I mean the just is flowing right now, and I love it.
Even the third goalie, Dawes, had a great performance last night.
Yeah, Big Nico, the second Big Nico we got on the team.
Right.
I like him. He's a good guy. Jake Allen, obviously, I share a last name with Jake Allen, so it's all family in there.
Right.
Legally, I can't prove that he is family, but emotionally, he's family to me. That whole team, I'm excited about it.
You got it, Roscoe. Another Devils fan right there with Roscoe.
Hell yeah.
Mark, how you doing tonight, sir? Real quick, since we got Mark here too, I'm going to turn it over to Jim real quick because we got something coming up, and I want Jim to promote it real quick before we get going any further. Jim, what is it? Can you tell everybody what's coming up this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend is Comics Curing Cancer Weekend. It starts, it's officially kickstarting tomorrow morning, actually on Mark Legion of Comics early morning show at 7:30 Eastern time. The whole weekend is going to be the comic community coming together to auction off different pieces like art work that's been done by community members. They're going to be comic mystery boxes, slabs. Rob Fastax is doing his show on Saturday. I think the original art show, I think, is Saturday at 5 o'clock.
Mr. DJ Links.
Links tomorrow night. In the mix is going to have some New York Comic Con exclusives. There's a little bit of everything out there for everybody. We're also doing, this year we're doing Christina is doing she gave wooden hearts to people, and they got to paint them and put art on them with their interpretation of it. And it was just, they're currently being auctioned off right now. You can put your bid in to get one of these hearts if if it moves you to, because at the end of the day, we've all been touched by cancer. Somebody we know has either passed from it or is dealing with it right now. And this is the way the comic community helps to fight cancer, because we think cancer sucks.
And it's worth mentioning too that this organization that these three guys run and promote through the community raised over $50,000 last year for cancer.
Yeah,
and they're already 15,000 in going into this weekend.
Right, and the thing to remember more than anything is everything we're selling, no money exchanges hands. You are sent to a portal where you make your donation directly into the American Cancer Society. So it's not, I'm giving this money from you for you. You are doing the donating. So you're,
right.
100%
of the proceeds go to the American.
Right. There's no intermediary type thing. So it's really good in that way. Yeah, I hope everybody can, just jump in and check out one of the streams. I know I'm going to be out of town this weekend. Even I'm going to be jumping in and seeing, because, Izzy's doing a sketch show from like 4 to 9 right before DJs. Saturday, they'll have something big. It's just a good way for us to give back. Yeah, that's about it.
Nice. All right, so we are going to say, first of all, thank you to those guys, and we're going to get back to our show here. Now, we're here mostly, we're going to promote a book tonight, and we're going to put Ryan back on the screen, seeing he's the writer, and then we're going to let him and Elizabeth talk about it. Now, Ryan, you mentioned you had an upcoming book. Give us the title. Tell us a little bit of what it's about, and let's start kicking it into pirate season here.
Pirate season. It's certainly a season for a lot of things, but it's always a good time for pirates. So Tales of the Wretched. That is the name of this new little project that we're working on. I actually wrote 2 novels all about pirates. Came prepared to show those.
Nice.
But the first one is called The Wretched Isles. And for years, John, the guy in charge of Dreamscape, he was trying to get me to do the book as a comic. And I was pushing back on him. I wanted my novel to be a novel, and that was it. And then we went back and forth. And then eventually we decided the best course of action would be going forth with creating a prequel to the novels. So that's Tales of the Wretched. It's all about a man named Jacob Wellen, and it's his story from basically being just a nobody, a bilge rat, if you will, to eventually his journey to be the Pirate King. And it takes 20 years before the events of the novels. We were actually releasing the third novel concurrently with the first issue of Tales of the Wretched. So we're trying to build a whole franchise there. So you got the 3 books that'll be out, and then we'll start rolling on the Tales of the Wretched comic books. So
Nice.
if you like pirates, there's a lot of pirates to be read, and hopefully we keep doing more.
Nice. We're gonna go to let's go to this format real quick, and I want you and Elizabeth to kind of talk about how she got associated with your book, and what Elizabeth and what your part is, and what you're contributing to this epic tale here. And then we're going to go into some art that you shared with me. We're going to show the audience some of that and let you guys discuss that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the way we got introduced was that I was working with John under Dreamscape on 3 of those other books. So, in working on that, the cool thing about John is that he's always looking for new properties, and he's always looking for new writers and artists and authors who are looking to kind of jump into comics. And so he was talking to me about Ryan and how he'd written these 2 novels, and that he really loved these novels and he thought they'd be amazing as comic book adaptations. And he was trying to figure it out, how it was going to work. And then I remember he came back to me and he said, let's just have that conversation. Let's have you guys meet and chat it out and see if you can get it going. And I believe, Ryan, did you write that screenplay first, or did we have a conversation beforehand?
I had written it out in a, very much like movie script format.
Right.
And then you assisted me into formatting it the proper way. Which is something I really needed to get used to, and I needed to get used to it fast, because I like the more long form writing, like novels, and I'm a theater major, so I've dealt with lots of scripts, and so those are the 2 kind of mediums that I'm used to writing and reading. So that was a difficult mental switch to write it in the proper comic book format, and just the idea of like over describing everything.
I mean, from my perspective, you kind of got it pretty instantly. I received this fantastic screenplay that had, I think I would say probably 5 to 6 books worth of story, which is like what I want to see. When I'm editing, I want to see as much of the idea of where we're heading as possible.
Right.
And so, look through it. I thought it was really going to work. It just needed a bit of formatting, which, anyone who's written a comic book can tell you, and until you've sort of worked through it and figured out how to work with a team that's segmented in the way that comics is, everyone is starting from scratch. You just have to learn the rules so that you can get the information through as best as possible. And so Ryan and I worked together to get it formatted, and then I started to build the team around it.
Nice.
Now we do have a question from the audience, and we'll ask that as they come in. But he wants to know if it's based in the real world, or is it more of a fantastic world that you created, like pirate films?
This is a complete fictional world. So I wrote the first book, and I wanted to do pirates, and briefly thought about possibly making it in the real world. But to kind of play into the, fiction and complete, for lack of a better term, skullduggery of it all. I thought just putting it in a fictional world would fit best.
Right.
Gives you a bigger playground, more creativity.
Right.
Yes, you get to play more, where it's, you know, I don't have to deal with, yeah, this guy's going to Key West. You know, I instead
gotta
I can
learn about
say,
Key
oh, this
West.
guy's
Yeah.
going to the island of death or something, you know, something cool like that. So but it is very much fantasy. I wanted to write something in lieu of the Game of Thrones vein. So it is
Like the world
grounded,
building
but
vein,
there are
right?
still aspects that, you know, are the high fantasy route. You know, monsters, all great pirate tales have a good monster. So
I was gonna say
the
they have to.
Kraken's there.
Yeah.
You know, sirens and, you know, curses and all that fun stuff.
Did
Yeah.
you want to get through some of the pages here, and you guys can talk about them
Sure.
Yeah.
before we move on to websites and other questions here? So, of course, it started me on slide 6. I don't know why. So there we go. Tales of the Wretched.
So this is
Yes.
cover A, which is done by Ben Pisney, actually. And I think he's done a great job on this cover A. We do have a couple other covers as well in the works that'll be available on that Kickstarter.
Nice. So we got that.
That's Jacob right there with his glorious mustache. It's kind
Now,
of a
with the
key
design of
feature
the
that I
ship,
loved.
Is there
What was
any
that?
particular time period you took the design of your ship from?
So the idea is that it takes place in a fictional version of like the 1720s. So just at the height of piracy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's early 1700s, but you know, because we are in that vein of fiction, we can, you know, bend
Right.
some
You can play with it some.
Look, it says
Yeah.
mustache on point.
This is
And
Justin
it is.
Popovich.
I mean that is the sketch that Justin did,
Yeah,
and that
Character design.
is
I like it.
quite a mustache.
I love it.
I wanted to almost embody a Wyatt Earp like mustache, but
Sure.
you know,
nice. Good
do
call.
it better than him because you know we're pirates and we're better than cowboys.
There you go. Hey, you're just seafaring cowboys. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, cowboys they're pirates who can't swim.
Yeah.
So you get into the book and you have this 2-page spread. You want to tell us a little bit about this, guys?
Yeah, so this is pages 2 and 3, where we get a little bit of a look at some of the origins of our main character, and where they're coming from, and hopefully where they're heading. So this was really
a good view of the world that you're in, like right off the bat. It really sets your mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
No, this one's great.
This is a beautiful spread, and I think one of my first conversations with Beth, I wanted to do a big spread of this town, especially. This is the Port of Marie, which is a pivotal location in Tales of the Wretched going forward. Also in the trilogy of novels. It's kind of the most established city in the Wretched Isles, which is where a majority of the story takes place. And I wanted to embody that kind of Spanish colonial, that almost like a Havana.
I was going to say it reminds me of Cuba. It kind of looks like a Cuban port.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely, or Brazil for that matter.
When this came to me, I was like, yeah, that's the city I've been talking about for.
Right, that's the hub.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
nice.
So
That's why
Now
you do
we
a comic book. That's a heck of an establishing shot.
Right.
Yeah.
And what strikes me with this next page we're sharing here is how well done the inking is. The inks really help paint the picture on this.
Thank you.
Oh, and Beth
That's all
inked it. There
Beth.
you go.
I did, yes.
That's right.
Yeah, this is page 7, where we get a nice conversation on this. My favorite panel on this page is definitely that final panel where we get to look through down into that hold. I love shots like that where you get to sort of look through something and onto characters in shadow.
Yeah, that's a beautiful page.
Mm.
Here we got. All right, you go ahead and talk about this, guys. We got some action starting here.
So page 17 is what we're looking at here. We're getting to see a couple other characters as well that are going to be joining the mischief, shall we say, moving forward.
As part of his crew to be, maybe.
Yeah, this is actually the first time that we see Jacob kind of working with a semblance of a crew. Obviously, he's only with 2 guys there. But yeah, this is the start of Jacob's crew without, being so upfront about saying, hey, we're a crew now. It's just we're here for a common goal, and we got to work together whether we like it or not.
And we do get to see, that I like this sort of beginning vibe that Jacob starts giving is that, yes, he's very mission focused. He's here for a very specific reason, but in that mission, he's still leading and he's still, working with a team to get that goal finished.
Right.
A good question from Mark. Are there any animals on the pirate ship?
You're gonna have to find out. Right now we're very much starting off, and there's really only one way to find out if Jacob gets his animal companion.
All right, and then let's talk a little bit about this. One of the things I love about this page is the shot through the mesh, through the chicken wire, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I love this this long panel on the left. I also really like the sort of minimalism on that final panel where we really just pull back and get to see sort of some nice large graphic shapes. This is page 19. Where we're also sort of getting a little bit of a taste of, why Jacob's where he is and what he's looking for.
Yeah, this is so the pigeon coop. Obviously, there's no cell phones or emails back then, so the pigeon coop kind of becomes where you get your contracts and how you can communicate with people. And this is actually our first introduction to the character who is unnamed in this, but it is Mr. Pigeon. That's what they call him. It's more of a derogatory term towards him,
Right.
but he's the one who's kind of manning these pigeon coops around the Wretched Isles, and it's going forward. As we'll find out in later issues, this is how the pirates would talk to each other and kind of get crews together and get missions, set up and going. So, Mr. Pigeon, if you want animal companions, he's not quite an animal, but he's bird-like, and he becomes a very pivotal character in Jacob's life. So expect to see more of him, and expect to see more pigeons going forward.
Right. So, and now here too, we have on the website, right? And the links to all this that we're showing you are in the description below. But so we're going to look at this website here. When you got a great synopsis and introduction, the story of Jacob Whalen. You can read all about it here. This is in the description. And again, you get just a better shot of this beautiful cover in the ship. almost like a virgin. You just get the art, and it's beautiful. Coming in December 2025 to Kickstarter.
Hey, Gary, I just wanted to mention, because there are some great comments by Legion of Comics about the artwork. And the art team of Justin and Beth, this is most definitely not their first professional work. They are seasoned veterans, have done tremendous work in the past. Their style is perfect for this genre. And Justin, the penciler, was actually nominated last year for an Eisner Award. So you're getting some really high quality artwork. And there is a page. I have not read the comic yet. I haven't seen a script. I haven't seen it lettered, but I was fortunate enough to see all the original artwork. And there is a splash page in this that is so good that I was like, this should be a cover. And I'm really hoping if they do a variant or a second print, they'll literally do one of those, like take a panel and make it the cover. It happens to be a splash, but it is just phenomenal artwork. So
yeah, but good wraparound cover. Everybody loves those.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You need one of those to display in a clear backing board, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, pages 2 and 3. I mean, that wonderful shot of the Port of Marie would be a lovely.
Right. Well, and I love all the dialogue balloons on there, because right away, not only is the art spectacular, but it gives you a sense of a busy community going on there.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. And that's
it works on a couple levels.
Yeah. And when lettering a 2-page spread, you've got to be so mindful of trying to lead someone from panel 1 to the larger panel and then back down to 3, which can sometimes, depending on the layout of the spread, be a little bit tricky because you have that centerfold. So it's all about that flow.
Nice. Now you are saying this Kickstarter launches in December. Do you have a specific date in December that this is actually kicking off?
Is it late November?
The Kickstarter is going to start November, I believe 22nd, just late November, is what I'm aware of.
Oh, so even sooner. Nice.
And then the release date.
We're looking to release in December.
Oh, okay. So November 22nd, guys, is the Kickstarter date. I got you.
Now, is this a full comic book? Some comics are done on Kickstarter. They're varying length. What's the page count that someone that's invested in this book can expect from the first issue?
So this is a 28-pager. So you are
nice
getting a full book. Absolutely. And, we are definitely ready to continue with this storyline moving forward into the, that's John there. Moving forward into issue 2 and 3 and so on. So we are looking at around 28 pages ideally per issue. So it is a full issue that you'd be receiving.
And it's worth mentioning that you guys aren't just putting this out through a first-time effort. You were launching through Jaff Comics, who's established in the comics field.
Absolutely. And that's, such a fantastic place to be associated with, because, they are at conventions. They have this fantastic presence. They're part of the community, and they're part of the community as, consumers, as people who love comics. And when you're coming from that sort of foundation and you go into making comics, you're doing it because you are a reader and you are doing it for the love of the game. And that's just such a wonderful place to come from. And it's a really great environment and atmosphere to work within as a creative in this space. It really gives you the sort of the trust and the freedom to do the creating that you want to be able to do.
Right. Yeah, there's a real passion going on there. And I was just down in Baltimore. Was that last weekend?
Me
Time
too.
is an illusion. Yeah. So, I think it was last weekend. And I got to sit with, John and Scott, who are, the head honchos of Dreamscape. And we got to push this book, and, we were pushing all the books. Obviously, Marcus, Lady Savage, God is Hungry. And the pirate book, people are interested, and it's exciting to have somebody listen to my spiel and say, you know what, hell yeah, I can't wait. And you know, I'm excited for getting this thing out there and getting it in people's hands.
Well, there's certain things too that appeal to the wonder in us, even as adults, right? That you tie back to your childhood or growing up. Those adventure tales, whether it's a Zorro type of character, pirates have always been there for that sort of adventure.
Oh, heck yeah.
Especially in, like Beth and I were talking about earlier, in a 9-to-5 world, how great of escapism is a good old pirate tale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's freedom, you know, there's endless opportunity on the ocean. That's kind of, you know, the mission statement for all pirates throughout history. And you know, every generation has their great pirate story. You know, there was Treasure Island, and there was the Disney films, and the Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean. So, you know, why not have a new generation of a great pirate story? And why can't it be us? And that's kind of my mission statement with writing these books and telling these stories, these tales, if you will.
Right.
So how did you get associated, Ryan, with Jaff Comics and Dreamscape Publishing?
I have known John for over half my life. He was actually my soccer coach when I think I was 12. And so I have a great relationship with John. I respect him very much. And he clearly saw something in me, and saw something in what I was writing and said, let's do it. You know, yeah.
So,
go ahead, Jim.
I want to do a follow-up question to what Mark was saying. Like, so you're going to bring out this first book. One of the things that I've noticed a lot with Kickstarters is they're really gung-ho with the first book, but then it's like it kind of, you need to have that second book ready to go. Do you feel like that's something that's going to be progressing pretty quickly? Because I feel like you lose momentum if you don't.
Yeah, I feel like with some Kickstarters, you definitely can. The great news about issue 1 is that it's fully finished.
Yeah.
And there is no more work to do on it. And I believe the scripts are also in a state of near completion for a number of books moving forward.
Oh, cool.
We also have a seasoned art team. So Justin Prokowicz is an industry professional. He's been teaching at the Cubit School for many years. So his turnaround time is a lot faster than the average sort of self-funded indie project.
Right.
So, you know, as long as we're able to fund well on Kickstarter, and, you know, we'll be ready to get going pretty quickly, I would say.
It's just been my opinion that when you get one out, you need to have that second one ready, at least from a story point, and then the art coming up. And I'm not saying like, you know, in a week. I'm saying after a couple of months, you should be ready to roll with the second one.
And the great news about having a publishing company that's doing multiple projects is that in the interim between issue 1 and 2 of Tales of the Wretched, you have Marcus, you have Lady Savage, and you have God is Hungry to sort of help fill that gap for readers who are eager for more story. Those books are available, and we are working on them as we're working on the others as well. So
and you'll have 3 novels.
Right.
You'll have
I was going to bring that up too. Where can we get the book, the original novel from?
So you can actually get it on the Dreamscape website. We have a link to purchase it there. And they are also on Amazon. So if you're a Kindle reader, they are on Kindle. If you're fiending for more pirates, I have 2 books right now, and by the time the comic issue 1 comes out, I'll have 3 books, and
Mark's asking,
hopefully we keep going. I see this comment here. Yes, but it's less about being spoiled and more about the story I want to tell. So the novels take place 20 years after the comic book. So things have already been said and done and set in stone. But the way I look at it, that didn't stop anybody from seeing episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars, and
Right,
that
right,
everybody knew, Anakin was gonna turn into Darth Vader.
Right.
They still showed up to the theaters in troves, and
Right, because you still want to see the journey there.
It's about the story.
It's the journey more than the destination. It's about the adventure.
Okay.
And do you guys have a Kickstarter goal set yet for the amount of funds you want to raise? Because some people shoot themselves in the foot by having tiers that are high, and some people just kind of hit that sweet spot. Is that something you guys have been in heavy discussions about, like what your goal is going to be, what the reasonable reach is for the community?
Yeah, I think, we're mindful of, we want as many people as possible to be able to access this book and to be able to enjoy this story. So we have, a variety of levels for, there's digital version, there's your classic cover A. And then, of course, something we like to try and add in is if you are able to invest in original artwork, we'll have some original artwork available for you as well. So there'll be a nice breadth of tiers for the different abilities to invest if you're interested in doing that. I believe we are setting it at I know that for God is Hungry, the goal is 1,000, which is just to cover the print costs, since that book has already been made. I believe Tales of the Wretched will be in a similar vein as well.
Oh, so a completely easily reachable goal. That way people know they're getting what they're signing up for.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll talk about the God is Hungry Kickstarter, because that is live now. And that's another book that Dreamscape is publishing and Beth works on. I just backed it, and I forget what package, but you could get like all 3 covers for like $20 or $30. It was very, very, you could buy a single issue, for less than $10, including shipping. So it's an easy entry point. But if you want to support the project, then you can get a package with a few covers, or that's a little higher. That's always great, because I think one of the nice thing about Kickstarters is not just a great way to pre-order a comic. It's also a way to support the creative team to make sure that, like Jim said, you can get that second issue and get it sooner than later. So,
Well, funny you would bring up that, because we happen to have here to share with you guys. And
to Mark's point, Beth is not wearing that pirate hat because we're talking about a pirate book. She wears that every day of her life.
Absolutely. My 9 to 5, when I go anywhere else, it's pirates 24/7. And that parrot stays with me too.
Yeah.
We are also going to promote Dreamscape Publishing, and we're going to take a look at this website and let you guys talk through these down. We'll show them a little bit. Of course, everyone who knows me knows I'm instantly interested in Lady Jungle or
Lady Savage.
Lady Savage.
Yeah.
So there we go. God is Hungry. What a cool cover is that? Look at that with the eyes.
Yeah. So that's Oliver Dowling who made that cover, and then I'm the colorist on it. I was also the editor and inker on that book and the letterer as well. The interiors are done by Chase Cowan, who was a colleague of mine from the Cubit School. God is Hungry is written by Matt Tuck. It's sort of a Lovecraftian horror style book with some cult elements. Really fun stuff. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge fan of horror. So anything horror that I get to work on, I'm super happy. Lady Savage, that cover is also by Oliver Dowling. That's written by Gary Petras. That's going to be more of your sort of Tarzan inspired Lady of the Jungle survival action book. Those interiors are done by Hunter Moles as the penciler. I'm also the inker and letterer on that one. And then that book is in full color. And we have Dakota Urhan, who is the colorist on that book. And then Marcus was the first property that Dreamscape published, which is
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a copy of it.
Great dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing guy. He's our pre-press guy as well on these books. He's the writer for Marcus. That's his name there, Scott Polochik. That cover is by Chase Cowan as well. And then the interiors on Marcus is done by Oliver Dowling. And he's doing the full process for Marcus, inks and pencils. And then I'm lettering that one as well. And then that's Tales of the Wretched down there. That cover is also fantastic. Done by Ben Pishney, who's
the water's great on that cover too.
I love that texture he got there. And I think the glow as well near the pirate ship is just fantastic. Really cool
Yeah, it's
stuff.
fantastic.
And there you go. You just sold 2 novels already.
There you go.
Hey, you know, the one and only. Yeah, I do what I do best.
Mark loves your hat, Beth.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
There you go.
And Gary,
if you guys have never met Mark, he is an incredible community supporter, one of the best in our community.
Yeah. He's always looking at good Kickstarters. I mean, so if he's finding the books.
I haven't got to talk about Jaff Comics in a while, so this is exciting for me because I talked to him once, and he was just a great guy.
Oh yeah, really amazing guy to work with. As a creative team member, it's always fantastic to find publishers who are looking for constantly looking for talent. They're very supportive of their talent as well. They take into consideration any suggestions you might have. They want your feedback. They want to hear what you're working on. They want to promote you as artists. And they're also interested in, do you know anyone who's got a story to tell? Do you know anyone who would be a good fit on this book? And they're really, really great about that. It's always wonderful to work with them.
It is. We'll be looking at that in just a moment. But I still had a question for Ryan and Beth here. I am a huge fan of black and white art. Obviously, I love color comics too. The pirate book is going to be in black and white, I take it, from what we saw, or was that was that finished pages or?
Yeah, those were finished pages. So it is going to be black and white.
Awesome.
Legit indie cred.
Right. I love black and white art, just being an old Savage Draconian fan and stuff like that myself. There's something special about just seeing the pencil work.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. Well,
and the inking.
I love black and white comics specifically. I have a copy of The Killing Joke, and I specifically only have the black and white version. I don't have the colored version because I want to see that. I want to see those inks, and I want to see that contrast.
It's so funny because as comic readers, we go out and we pay our $5 or $6 for a full color comic, and then we wait until the black and white original art edition comes out for like $120, and we buy that because we want to see the fair art.
Capitalism at its finest. I just had a chat with somebody the other day, and they were saying, it's cool that it's black and white, and we moved from and then later on we could sell it again in color, and then later on we could sell it again and just do black, white, and the red blood. So I think somebody does that. I think it was Marvel does that.
Yeah, but black, white, red. Yeah.
So does a lot of the indie companies now too.
It is the purest form of capitalism. God bless America.
It's great to get those series where you have just the color splashes in the pages, which is always fun.
Yeah,
absolutely. I love that stuff. It really, if I was going to do, a comic in color, I would love to do, a splash of color, but then the rest just being that high contrast black and grays.
So the first indie
the art came out perfect. I mean, thank you, Beth, and
awesome.
Thank you, Justin. It's just it's satisfying to have these characters that I've, kind of had in my head for so long, and I can only put them on words and just see them. I'm like, yes, there he is. That's him. So the art is magnificent, and we had a great team working on it. So.
And Ryan, to your credit, Ryan, you picked a great genre to write in that also happens to not be like over flooded in the market right now. You don't see like, 50 different pirate books out there. So I was really excited to see this book greenlit, and I'm excited to read it because the art is fantastic. The world is fantastic, and can't wait to read the story because I am a reader, and I, for obvious reasons, want to learn more from the writer.
Oh yes, and it's a shame that there's not more pirate stories out there because, I mean, I have never met a single person who doesn't just adore pirates. And
right, Mark?
If there's a vacuum, let's fill it. You know what I mean? And like I said earlier, let's be the next best pirate adventure story of a generation.
I did want to ask one other question before we went to the next book. Was usually there's always somebody like somebody chasing the pirate. Is there a character like that in this? Because I haven't read the thing yet. I mean, is there somebody that's like, we got to get this guy?
Yes. There will be two factions.
Oh crap. It's bad shape.
Kind of on Jacob's ass throughout the whole adventure here. And I won't spoil it, but you find out real fast.
Okay.
In issue 1, at the end of issue 1, you'll see exactly the type of people he has to deal with. In issue 2, you'll find out even more of who these wretched people are.
Excellent.
Yeah, I know Doug can attest to that final page of issue 1 being pretty cool visually. So I'm really excited for people to see that.
Oh, I want a spoiler of it.
No spoiler. They gave us just enough to get me. Now I'm like, I gotta write.
I didn't say you needed to have one.
No. They gave me just what I needed. I just asked the question because I figured there was somebody, but we didn't. I didn't hear it brought up or anything. So
yeah, there's obviously we have the whole world established, and thanks to the novels, I don't have to think too much on the spot of who it's going to be or when. But there is certainly an antagonist. But in a life of a pirate, there are many antagonistic forces coming up against you. So, it's
well. You had that good splash page that introduces the world, but I want to see the seedy under things that are going on in that little world too.
Yes, and we get that tease with the pigeon coop page, where it's kind of in this back alley, undescript location, and there's just the two of them in the alleyway and a box full of pigeons.
Cool.
And I'm very excited to see the art going forward of, as you said, the seedy underbelly of the world.
Right.
And this place is called the Wretched Isles. So expect to see quite a lot of wretched individuals. Yeah. And locations that will live up to its title.
Awesome.
Nice.
Hey, Ryan, I heard a rumor, and I don't know if it's true, so I'm going to ask. At Baltimore Comic-Con, was there an ash can? Like a preview?
Yes, there was.
Oh,
we had an ash can at Baltimore Comic-Con, and by Sunday morning, we had about 4 copies to kind of pick and choose who gets one. So we were giving them out. People were taking them, and people were excited.
Ash cans are great. I love ash cans.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit John up if they weren't all gone. I'm gonna hit John up for one.
There might be a couple floating around. I kept one myself.
You should.
Hot off the presses because I was excited for it.
That's awesome.
I got to try and get my hands on one as well. I'm also a big fan of ash cans.
Yeah, ash cans are great. I love
They're
them.
so cool. They're just so cool.
They are. Was it a full-size ash can or an actual ash can sized ash can?
It's an actual, tiny little brochure.
I love them.
It was the first 8 pages.
That's what you want.
Maybe 6. I'm bad at counting. That's why I write words and not numbers.
There you go.
But it's just a beautiful book on the inside. Like we've been saying, the art is just fantastic, and it gets people excited. It's gotten me excited, and I know how the rest of the book goes.
It's gotta be exciting to see your characters brought to visual life. You know what I mean?
It's excited to see people react to seeing the art, because it is something that it's not flushed in the market. It's not, you don't get these pirate aesthetics in the market right now. So yeah, I like when people see the art and they see the idea and they're ready for it. And I'm ready for people to see the rest of it. I'm ready for, people to get excited about it.
Well, as a writer who has benefited greatly from an awesome comic community supporting Kickstarters, I back comics too, especially ones that show that they put a ton of hard work into it and that get me excited about it. And I've already backed God is Hungry, and I will 100% be backing Tales of the Wretched. And I hope other viewers follow suit and support indie creators.
Absolutely. And just, and we always say it, right? Everyone always says they want something different, and then you get your chance to prove it with something like this, right? You got something fresh, you got something new, go check it out. Now, let's get to our other part here, and so we can do our due diligence for Jeff and the other creators here. We are going to show God is Hungry, the Kickstarter. We're going to let Beth talk us through this.
Yeah.
So we got $1,000 goal. We're at 774 there. By the end of tonight, it'll be more. Beth, should we play the trailer?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So let me, first of all, let me try to do this, where we make that bigger, and then we will go here.
In 1873, a family of poor African-American sharecroppers search for a cure for their autistic daughter and her prophetic nightmares. Their journey takes them to the mysterious Riddle family, who have been waiting for the little girl. They murder May's family and take her as tribute to their ancient blood god. As the Riddle's path of violence stretches across the landscape, May must fight for her survival or be fed to the nameless god, and God is hungry.
There we go. All right. So that was the trailer. Scroll down here, take a look. Got our story, which we just heard in there. Sorry, I just want to fix my screen here so we can see the rest of you guys. Now, tell us a little bit more about this, Beth, and what people should be looking for. Here's some
we got a little bit of interior pages there. So God is Hungry is, a book for anyone who likes horror specifically, anyone who likes dark mysteries. If you're a fan of nameless, faceless things in the dark that, have some supernatural handlings in the world, and this is definitely the book for you. I really love this kind of story. I think it works really well with the black and white style, with that heavy contrast, and you just get to have that kind of unknowable ancient bad guy, and a real protagonist that you really want to root for this little girl, and you really want her to be able to best what's going on around her. Plus, I get to In issue 1 specifically, I got to ink on top of a good friend of mine's pencils and do some really fun creatures. So that's always something I love.
Now there are some cool perspective shots right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
this is one
of
my favorite pages. Absolutely, yeah. So you got May looking through a keyhole there and seeing a corpse, and then something jumping in front of that keyhole. I really love, being able to put a lot of heavy texture in here, and especially with horror comics, this is the book for it.
The expressions are great.
Yeah, that's Chase Cowan. He's a graduate of the Cubit School as well. So he penciled a couple issues of Marcus. He was also a penciler on a couple issues. An interior artist on Marcus and an interior artist on some of Isolation. He's unfortunately stepped away from comics at this stage, but he did do this whole book before he stepped away. So this is a full, I believe, 28 pages of his pencils and my inks on top of it.
Is this a complete story too?
Yes. So Matt Tuck, our writer, he has written this whole story. I believe it's going to be a self-contained story. I think we're probably looking at around 6 issues. And, we're going to be working on that as we go through. And then that cover, of course, done by Oliver Dowling, who's, a big name in Dreamscape for us. He's doing a lot of our interiors on Marcus. He's the lead artist on Marcus. He also did a couple covers for us, and so that's his take on that. And then that's Ben Pishney as well, who's done a few covers for us as well.
That's a great cover too.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Oh, and then one of my personal favorites. This is Oliver's inks, uncolored by me, and you just get that awesome black and white contrast. I'm really glad we went with a black and white cover. That's definitely one that I'm going to snag.
Very cool.
Definitely. And another different shot here.
I don't know. I kind of like this one. I
think all of our covers are pretty cool with this book. I think, and I love the black and white on this. Horror comics and black and white. There's just something really special about it that I love.
Oh, absolutely. And the look on her poor face, man, makes you feel for her instantly already.
She is having a rough time.
And I was fortunate enough to read this one already, and it is excellent. Matt Tuck, who I do not know, but he's written other things, and I've read his work. I think he used to write for Go Collect's blogs and maybe CBSI. He's like, I've known his work from other things. He did a really good job. It's a great kind of occult monster story that's really, really creepy. So
we like creepy in our horror, so that works for me.
Yep.
Yeah, and I believe you can get some original artwork as well. We don't have access to the pencil pages, but I do have all of the inked pages, and so a couple of those will be available as backing tiers as well. So that's pretty fun.
A question here too, Beth, if you can answer that. The blood or scar on her face, that's part of the logo?
Absolutely. So that symbol is something that you'll see popping up quite often in that book, directly related to the faceless god that is, in fact, Hungary. And there's,
every bolt's got a symbol.
Absolutely. There's a fun little game you can play, especially with issue 1, where that symbol pops up in more locations than you'd expect. So really take a look and see if you can spot all the places where we've managed to hide it in there.
Ooh, especially in a black and white book where you can just shade it into different places.
Oh, yeah. It's a real Where's Waldo.
Yeah, suck out the souls.
Mm-hmm. You got to eat something, and not everyone eats food.
Right. Well, and I love that, especially from the old pulp era of horror too. Like that kind of stuff resonates with me. I just love that kind of darkness. And to me, supernatural horror has always been the most interesting, especially when creatures are involved as well.
Absolutely. I'm a huge horror enthusiast. I think horror is such an incredible medium because you can really do anything you want. There's endless room for creativity in horror. You can go really weird with it, or you can really hone in on the human cost of horror. And really anything can go, as long as you're telling a good story that's rooted in the characters. You can add in weird monsters, you can add in an unknowable villain, and it will work because it's always very character based. And it's also just so fun to draw spooky stuff.
Right? I don't know. Horror and sci-fi both have it in common, right? One, they're great if you mix them.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But two, they both have so many niches. Like it's infinite. Like because horror can take place in any kind of medium, in any kind of reality. There can be horrific elements. So there's really no limit to horror.
Yeah, well, like sci-fi, I always view horror as an umbrella term. You know, horror is the umbrella under which you can have horror comedy, horror sci-fi, horror fantasy. You know, it really does connect with everything. I mean, you know, Alien is such an excellent example of horror sci-fi being one of the best examples of a successful franchise that, you know, you can do anything with it. It's just so cool. And I think often, unfortunately, it's overlooked by a lot of award ceremonies, you know, but I think we get some really amazing stories told in horror. And I'm hopeful that, you know, the community will be able to see that God is Hungry is, you know, one of those really, really awesome stories.
Very nice.
Very nice.
And of course, just another one in the line from Jaff Comics and Dreamscape Publishing.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're doing amazing stuff right now. They're, you know, getting more and more projects in the works.
Now, Ryan, as we're getting closer to wrapping up here, did you want to promote your third book coming out and give us a little tease about it and what's coming up for that third book?
Yeah. So, obviously, the book series, The Wretched Isles. The first one follows a guy by the name of Jonathan Wellen, who is, you know, he goes to the epicenter of piracy, finds out that he is the son of the Pirate King, who the prequel series is all about, Jacob Wellen. So the third book, they are fully engulfed in a war, and it is a wartime on sea story. I have books 1 and 2. Obviously, you can see it got bigger, and book 3 is going to get bigger. So there is a story to be told, and the pirates are dealing with many adversaries.
As they should. Right. I mean, if you don't have adversaries, are you even pirating?
Not really.
Not well.
Oh, so many good things. I got to ask you, because you wrote a pirate book. What's your favorite pirate story that you've read of all time?
It's a good question. I gotta say
no, just kidding.
My earliest, I remember having the VHS of Treasure Island, and the first time I watched it, I didn't realize for some reason it was in the middle, and I thought the middle was the start of the movie. And I was like, oh, this is a really short movie. And for years, I would just watch this movie and never rewind the tape far back enough. I always thought it was just, oh yeah, it's good. And then every time it'd start from a different location. But I love Long John Silver, and the way he talks in that movie is very, very funny. And obviously that's the iconic pirate voice. But, you know, I got to give credit to, you know, Captain Jack Sparrow. And without him, I don't think I would have written a pirate book. So I gotta say the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie, final answer.
Oh, okay. Nice. So it's not Cutthroat Island.
No, Cutthroat Island. He doesn't know what that is. It's so old and trash.
I think the only Dead Man's Chest. Good call, Mark.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
But yeah, well, and that's the
best
thing,
one.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's right.
I'm pretty sure Orlando Bloom is shirtless most of that movie, which helps.
Yeah,
Gets the butts in the seats.
You see, I watched the first two and loved them, and all of a sudden Keira Knightley was in it. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need to see anymore.
That's when I jumped off as well.
Yep. I'm like, no Keira Knightley, no Gary. I'm good.
I'm good.
Especially if you're going to tear those two lovers apart. I was like, no, you just ruined it for me. That the whole thing is having them together.
Right.
Yeah.
But that was from
the CGI in that with Davy Jones that holds up so well right now.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. They really they did an excellent job with that. The whole, the Kraken, the interactions with the Kraken, it really has that weight and that horrible slime to it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a fun, and you get into the campiness of Pirates with that one too.
Mm.
Yeah,
Pirates are campy. Mark. I love the campiness.
Empire Strikes Back of the pirate films.
Mm.
But we have it though. It is an underutilized genre now. Just like the old Jungle Adventures of the old days, just like the old Zorro Adventures.
Right.
A lot of these, there's an appetite for them in the community right now, and you're seeing indie companies go to them like Man Cave Comics and Boom Studios. You're seeing people start dipping into these American Publishing Comics where they're doing Zorro. There's all these old ones, and I'm waiting for Doc Savage to come back. But all these old ones, these old heroes, these old pulp heroes, they're finding a resurgence now. And why not pirates? Right? They're some of the grandest adventures. One of the first things we end up playing when we're children, right? You play cowboys, you play cops, you pretend you get a stick, you pretend to have a sword, and you also pretend that you're on the sea and you're a pirate. I mean, all these things are pivotal growing up moments, and they resonate in you forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The time has come for people to fall in love with pirates again. That's for damn sure.
All right. So this is a prequel to your books. The third book is coming out when this prequel launches. So people can get 4 times the pirate fun with 3 novels and a Kickstarter prequel. What more could you ask for to kickstart your new year?
Yay. Year of the Pirate 2026. Calling it now.
There you go. And you're leading the way.
There you go.
Somebody's got to do it.
Right? And so with that, I want to turn it back over and see if you guys have any other upcoming projects that you may want to promote. Whether it's you or Beth. I know you just promoted your pirate book. Beth, anything coming up for you that you would like to talk about?
Yeah, well, we're working on, all the different products from Dreamscape Publishing. We've got Lady Savage, we've got God is Hungry, Marcus, we've got issue 4 of Marcus that's currently in the works as well. Issue 2 of Tales of the Wretched. Isolation, we just had a successful Kickstarter with Doug on Isolation, so we will be developing that pulp for the next chapters. Which I'm super excited to see. So that's going to be great. I'm a story-driven person. So as long as I get to finish the book and read it, I'm so happy. And there's a few other things in the work as well behind the scenes that hopefully we'll get to showcase soon with Dreamscape. We're always looking at new projects. We're always reading through new submissions. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to continue expanding and continue bringing in some new stuff.
Excellent.
Nice. And you're keeping busy.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Ideally, I could fill, every day with a different book. Right now, I still have that 9 to 5, got to get that health insurance. So, but I'm, filling every second with as many comics as I possibly can. Inking is always a joy, and I'm so, so grateful that I'm able to ink Justin Prokovich's pencils. I mean, he was my teacher for a number of years when I was at the Cubit School. So to be able to turn around and ink one of my instructor's pencils is like a dream come true. I couldn't be happier.
But you have your fingers like so deep in the well of comic creating, between art, inking, editing.
Yeah.
Is there a aspect that's your absolute favorite part to work on that you like above all else?
Genuinely, I love storytelling as a whole. That is what I love so much, whether it's storyboarding, whether it's, writing. If I can be involved in the creative process behind a really interesting story, and especially if I can jump into that process and help make it the best story it can possibly be and bring more eyes to it. The thing that I've really found within the editing role that I love is that developmental editing stage where we have that raw script, we have that rough idea, and we get to really work through it, really figure out what's going to make it tick, what's going to boost this core concept and get it where it could be. And then being able to build a team around that and find the styles that fit within it and build that kind of community to jump on this product. I love doing that stuff. That is really fulfilling to see it then all come together at the end and have that finished product. I've really, really loved every second of that.
I was gonna say, it looks like you're having a great time because you're getting to work with some great people, like Doug, Ryan, John. I mean, you're getting to work with awesome creators that actually care about storytelling, characterization, and giving the public a well-produced, finished product that's worth their money.
Yeah, definitely. And I was a reader first. I was always raised on sci-fi, raised on Star Trek. So, definitely I am right there with the audience. I want to read these books. I get a copy and I'm so excited, or I get a script, and even when I receive pencils, I'm like just so excited to see it. So I'm definitely a reader first and foremost with all of these projects.
Well,
yep.
Well, I would like to say too, though, like, John, Jeff Comics obviously is welcome to come on the show anytime and promote anything they got going on over there. Doug knows he's always welcome on my channel at any time, especially because I love isolation so much. I've already told the story before, but I met Doug through Anachronic Comics, Joe, and I took a chance on isolation just based on Joe. And I bought in on the whole graphic novel, and I sat down to read the first chapter of it and then go back to finish it. And I never got back up. I just read it all in one sitting because I was so absorbed in it. And that's kind of the magic of finding some of these things, right? You don't know what stories you're going to find that completely absorb you, especially in this medium. I mean, there's so much out there. And when you find these stories that connect with you, especially with the horror, especially with people that they're making these indie books because they have a passion for them. They're not just pumping them out. They're personally invested. They're putting their heart and souls into each one of these pages, into every single word. And that means something at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every single person who is part of these projects, whether it's Isolation or JAF's products, we are all passionate about what we do. And one of the greatest examples of that is that I believe all of us and the art team are graduates of the Cubit School, and you don't really go to the Cubit School unless you're super passionate about wanting to get into this industry. And you're so being able to build teams that are with these people who have gone through 3 years of intensive comic book specific training, you are getting an art team that is super invested in that creative process, and they really want to be doing it.
Nice. All right. So with my panel, does anyone here have any last questions for Ryan or Beth?
I don't think so. I just went and backed the God's Hungry one already. Like, I'm already spending money here, Gary. That's crazy.
Right? I'm sorry, Doug, you had something, or?
No, just gonna say again, I'm excited to read the book when it comes out and back the Kickstarter.
Absolutely, I'll be go visiting that page myself.
Yeah, I got it booked.
Especially,
in my phone.
you get a look at those interiors.
Yeah, And get the novels. Yeah. I also will read the novels.
Right. Oh, and I'll probably download those on my
Kindle.
On my Kindle, so I can take it with me.
No, I'm a paper book kind of person.
I am too, but I usually when I buy a book,
yeah,
there's some things that are only available on Kindle, so I get that. But I'm always buying paperbacks. Sometimes I'll buy the Kindle version first, and then I'll get the I'll get the paperback after.
Yeah.
But I have boxes of books in storage because I can never get rid of my paper. I can't do it. I can't. I have separation anxiety just thinking about it.
I know. I'm out of book space. I am stacking on the floor at this stage, and I was at Comic-Con when that was happening, and I was like, all right, do not come home with books. Don't do it. You have no more bookshelves. You are out of space. And then, literally came home with a stack of books. They are everywhere. Nowhere to put them. I'm going to have to build more shelves, and I'm like stepping around books just to try and move.
Right on.
Yeah, but I mean, what a great problem to have, right?
Oh yeah. I love it.
And for some reason, it has gotten rid of that format for me. I'm trying to get the format where we're all on the screen together, and it has disappeared on StreamYard because they keep messing with stuff.
Oh.
It is buried behind us. Great format, StreamYard, that you wouldn't even let me access, where we can all be like equal on the screen. All right, they got some work to do. But with that, you guys are always welcome back. Everyone that's on the show, you're welcome back on my channel anytime to promote anything you're doing. First of all, I just want to say thank you, Ryan and Beth, for your time tonight. And I want to say thank you to Doug and Jim for being here to co-host. You know, I like to have more voices than mine, even though I tend to talk all the time. Sorry about that, everybody. I think, I was happy to get you back on, Beth, because it was such a pleasure meeting you when we were promoting Isolation for Doug. And I couldn't wait to hear about more of what you had coming up and we're doing, because you do have such a passion for it. And I agree with you, Ryan. We need more piracy. So let's the pirate kind, not the other kind.
Yeah, no comic book piracy, please.
Right.
Pirate book.
But I want to say thank you to my guests. Thank you to my co-host. Thank you so much for everybody that was watching us live. And if you're watching us on the rewind, we also appreciate it. And again, everyone's links are in the description below. So please go check out these links. You might find your new favorite creator. You might find your new favorite read. And guys, thank you all so much. And as we like to end these things, we are just going to say thank you for watching and keep it casual.